In our worldview today, prominent activists in Hong Kong face up to 5 years in prison for their alleged involvement in the 2019 protests. 7 leaders, including media tycoon Jimmy Lai, were convicted on unauthorized assembly charges, and yet another blow to the city's pro-democracy movement. Beijing's been tightening its grip on the city since changes to Hong Kong's extradition law sparked massive protests in 2019. Earlier this week, Chinese leaders officially approved changes to Hong Kong's constitution, dramatically reducing the power of democratically elected officials. Secretary of State Tony Blinken said China had severely undermined the rights and freedoms of people in Hong Kong. The defendants will be sentenced on April 16th. Over in Brazil, President Jair Bolsonaro is facing growing calls to step down. Opposition leaders demanded his impeachment in parliament for his, quote, illegal attempt to co-opt the armed forces. This comes after Bolsonaro fired Brazil's defense minister on Monday, prompting military leaders from all 3 branches to step down. Bolsonaro is already facing public outrage over the government's handling of the coronavirus. Nearly 320,000 Brazilians have been killed so far, making the country one of the hardest hit in this pandemic in the world. And over in France, the country's prime minister declaring the 3rd wave of the coronavirus has arrived. Speaking at the National Assembly, the prime minister detailed additional COVID restrictions after President Emmanuel Macron imposed a limited month-long national lockdown starting April 3rd. Schools and daycare centers will now be closed for much of that period, while travel within the country will be banned. A 7 p.m. curfew has been extended to the rest of the country. Daily new COVID infections in France have doubled to nearly 40,000 since February.